Welcome to yet another installment of Rise or Die Real Talk. Today, I'm talking to the one and only J.Vybe. What's going on, my friend?
What's up, bro?
J.Vybe is my actually fiance's brother, Jared Launsby. Super
Yeah.
pumped to be talking to him on here. Just gonna be shooting the shit. Really, it's not gonna be anything crazy, but just want to ask him some questions about his journey and some of the hardships that he's found along the way, so that if other people stumble upon this, maybe they could take a thing or two into consideration. And really just kind of congratulate you, bro, on your progress and your success so far, because
Thanks, man.
it's really easy to give up. It's
That's
really
the
easy to
goal.
just be like kicked while you're down and being like, fuck this, like I don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah, man, for sure.
And it's the people like that stay with it just consistently and they remember the reasons why they're doing it, I feel like, are
Mhm.
the ones that get through. Like, look at Modest Mouse, for instance, like playing like 10 years before they were ever signed to any sort of label and before they had any sort of like actual mainstream success. And
I didn't
like
know
now
that.
they're
That's
they
pretty
were
cool.
traveling around in a van for 10 years. No one really knew who they were and they were just staying at it. So yeah, man, I guess let's tell the people kind of why hip hop? Like, your dad is, was always tell me about your family music history and why you think you ended up in the hip hop realm.
Yeah, it's a good question. So, you know, depending how far back we want to go, my dad's, been in and out of bands since before I was born. Him and my mom are in two separate bands now. One of them's, a Tom Petty tribute band that's, playing some big shows around here and getting some good looks, which is really cool to see. They also do like an acoustic trio, and, you know, Miranda, my sister, obviously, incredible piano player and teacher, and, going strong at that. And Corey with his guitar playing, my brother, he's in his own band, so it's definitely like, brought up within the music. And I started out on drums, and when I was around like 9 or 10 is when I got into lessons, and I started playing in like the middle school band when I got into that age. Um, and I was also playing a lot of sports at the time, and when I was younger, I definitely didn't practice as much as as much as Miranda, my sister, and Corey, and as much as I should have and wished I did. Um, so fast forward through school, what I always kind of found, my way out of a tough situation, or, feeling down mentally or just not able to pay attention, I was writing. And that's like kind of what got me into it. I think the first rap song I heard was Eminem, Without Me, just in the radio. And I was like, it was just different from what I had heard before because, I grew up with the, rock and roll background and Steely
Sure.
Dan, Pink Floyd, Eagles. So when I heard Eminem, my mom wasn't stoked about it at first. She kind of like, warmed up a little after uh you know, a while. But that's definitely what got me going, and I enjoyed the wordplay and metaphors, and writing the storytelling and all that. And I was doing that through school, and that's kind of like up through started eighth, seventh, eighth grade, going up until I finished college. I was still doing that instead of like paying attention in class, just writing because I enjoyed it, and that's why.
Writing like lyrics, like writing
Yeah,
words, or yeah.
yeah, lyrics. Yep. Um, and that it's just been something I've done. I was writing probably 10 years before I really picked up a mic and started recording. And so at the root of it, writing for me was the escape. And then once I started getting into the studio, and I was like, oh, like this is a whole other level to the game.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that opens up some doors and ideas internally. And then you start getting into the live stage where you're performing, and that opens up a set of doors and ideas, and like you just chase the opportunities. And there's
So
definitely a lot of times where like you want to give
yeah,
up but you can't.
for sure. Let's take it back. Who would you say some of your biggest influences are when it comes to hip hop?
uh there's a big list. For I mean, one of my favorites all time, probably my top favorite, is Andre 3K, Outkast, like all of their shit. I loved that. Eminem, of course. I listen to Nas. Like if we're talking old school, I listen to Nas and Rakim, KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, that type of stuff. Tech Nine, New Age, you know, J. Cole, Mac Miller, Kendrick for
I
sure.
was waiting. I was waiting for you to say Mac Miller. I was like, I
Yeah,
know he loves Mac
Mac
Miller.
Miller for sure. Rest in peace. He, big influence for sure. Watching him, you know, it was just kind of like, from my perspective, seemed like a similar come up as, just where I was coming from and where I am coming from and the kind of
Sure.
music I want to make, that positivity shit. Like, I should definitely try to put that through my art.
So, a lot of positivity stuff. So, would you say that music in a way is like a big therapy for you in terms of like
Yeah.
getting your feelings and whatnot out?
Yeah, man, for sure. And, beyond like even just the writing aspect of it for sure. That's like really when I'm having a tough day at work, at my lunch break, I get about an hour, I'll throw on a YouTube beat and just write. And I'll try to sometimes like, you know, whatever comes to mind type stuff, or I'll try to come at it with a direction, or if I'm really trying to turn it into a song, like I'll put some intention behind it and like
Hmm.
try to really think about what I'm saying. But a lot of the times I'll throw in a beat and write, or freestyle, because a lot of the times I'll do that too, is freestyling and writing, and I think one feeds off of the other and it makes you better at both of them. um but yeah, man, like, when I'm having a tough day at work, I'll still go sit in my car and just write for a straight hour and go back to work and, feel a little better. And, at the same time, once you're able to officially get a song out that you feel real good about, you're able to do that for others. So that's like, that's why I'm doing it.
Have you ever tried the whole battle rap thing?
I know the Rainmakers and the whole scene that's going on. Honestly, they're fire and they're
Yeah,
popping
no,
off.
they're really good.
Love
Yeah.
to see that. We actually have, if you don't mind, I'm gonna plug a show real quick. We have a show coming up at Game Time in Amesbury, November 3rd. It's gonna be like J.Vybe showcase. Sorry, my dog's chewing on a squeak toy.
You're good.
Uh, but it's gonna be at Game Time in Amesbury, November 3rd, and Rainmakers are gonna be there. I'm gonna be performing. I got a few. I know Robbie Rowe. There's a few other artists that I kind of put together that are gonna be on that as well. So anybody who ends up hearing this, come through Amesbury Game Time. It's gonna be dope.
Is it all going to be hip hop or is it going to be a mix of genres?
It's gonna be mainly hip hop. Yeah. I know my buddy Robbie Rowe is coming through. He's definitely hip hop, but he's got a little bit more like R&B, vibey, singy stuff as well. But he's a man. And it's gonna be like, I don't know, it's gonna be a good time for sure.
So let's talk a little bit about that. So tell me, okay, for any rappers or anybody that's really into hip hop that might stumble across this video, you for the longest time had no, experience or opportunities really to be playing live shows. I know that
Sure.
it's been pretty recent that you've really started getting into the whole, scene, and
Yeah,
Bars
man.
Over Bars is amazing,
Yeah, oh
obviously,
yeah.
for
Shout
what
out
they
them big
do.
time for
Yeah,
sure.
Bars Over Bars.
Yeah.
But like
Yep.
that's just one dude. There's like so many people, right, that must be running these kinds of like hip hop things. And so it give a little bit of like how did you start getting into live shows, and then like give I know you haven't been doing super long, but like just give some feedback and maybe some tips for people that are looking to get, some chops when it comes to
Yeah,
like live
sure. I'd
performing and
say,
things. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, definitely for people looking to get into it is networking for sure. And anybody who's in the space creatively that, is hungry and wants it, connect with them. And chances are they probably know a few people that are also hungry and doing a good job and like treating people well. And it's like when you treat people well, like it's karma. What goes around comes around, and that shit, like, especially today with everything going on, like, it's gonna propel you forward. And that's for sure what I did, and not giving up too is the other one, because if I gave up, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. So it's like there's gonna be times when you feel like nothing's working, you've spent money and, you know, you're kind of feeling like you're running in circles, but then there's slow like jumps that, you gotta celebrate. You know what I
So
mean?
the other part to that is like what is the measurement of success, right? Like what is You know
Right.
what I mean? You're saying like,
Yeah.
oh, I've spent money, but like, how do you actually measure that return on investment? Is it money? Like, not necessarily, not right away. Anyways, like maybe over the long course.
I think
The other like podcast I just recorded, you should definitely go back and listen to it because he genuinely goes into that, and he's like, I think at my age now, because he's like in his 40s, he's like, I've realized like how you actually need to look at marketing and like how to grow a fan base, right? That should be the like the goal is like, how do I
yeah,
grow the fan base? And he made some really good points on there, like TikTok, for instance, right? Like a lot of younger generation that's very impressionable, right? Like, because that's the thing is that like you when you get to a certain age, this is what I was just telling him is like, you get to a certain age, it's like it's hard to be influenced or like fall in love with a new like artist
thing.
again. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Yeah.
for
Whereas
sure.
like when you're young, like you know, you,
Everything's new at that point.
everything's new and
Yeah.
like you really like fall in love with like certain music artists, whatever the case may be, you know.
And so sometimes that's just like a societal cultural influence on, you know, but it's also,
What's on
is
the radio or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
and for me, I've always kind of been, somebody who searches hard for new music, and I know a lot of, people just don't have the time or the interest in it like that too. So
Yeah,
there's,
that's true.
you know, you definitely, for sure, you want to, make sure you have a good presence online, and by that, have a TikTok dedicated to your shit, have a Twitter, have an Instagram, have a Facebook, like, and
Wherever people
it's
can
really
find you,
hard.
be there. Yeah.
Honestly, it's like one of my least favorite aspects of doing what I'm doing, but like it definitely, you know, helps build the brand. It's like you got to look at this. If you're gonna seriously pursue music and expect to make money off of it, you have to pursue it like a business. And with a business comes advertisements, comes overhead, comes everything else that goes into, you know, the ice cream stand down the shop, or all that stuff. There's a
The
lot that goes
brand.
into
Yeah.
it, exactly. And there's also a lot of the people that are running those businesses. How many times have they failed? And had to come up, and rebuild. And it's like that go that, is universal across anything you do, and especially music. It's like I fail all the time, but I also don't stop.
Yeah, I think it's important to it's great that you don't stop. That's the number one. But it's also like, taking little tips and tricks and like nuances from different people, right? Like,
Mm,
you're not, you love making music and like that's your thing. You're really good at it. But it's like maybe, like you said, like doing the whole social media aspect of it just like isn't like a passion of yours. It's not something that you like genuinely like,
right,
get up and you're excited to do. Like having a team around you or like having seeing how other people do it, is helpful because then it's like, okay, um, you
yeah,
know, I don't have to kind of come up with my own ideas. I can just kind of use an
right,
idea that someone else
for
is already
sure.
doing.
And
Yeah.
it comes back to networking too, and just being genuine with people and meeting somebody who really likes doing that stuff and is good at it. And then it's like, okay, you throw them a little money when you can, like to do that type of stuff. And it's
Yeah.
us, it has to be somebody that genuinely is hustling and wants it and isn't gonna, and takes it as the opportunity that it is. But when you can build a genuine team of a bunch of people all pulling in the same direction, that's what's gonna, exponentially grow your shit, I think, on
Yeah.
top of having a good brand and, taking opportunities when you can get them and doing the work to find the people. It's like, there's people that are putting on shows and there's artists that are doing shows. Go to a show. Go reach out to that artist and be like, hey, like, how'd you get that? Who's, that type of stuff. I've gotten opportunities just from doing that,
Yeah.
really.
And I think people might be nervous or anxious to go like live shows. A lot of the younger
Sure.
crowd is like, I don't
I
want to
was
be around
nervous.
people. I
Yeah.
don't want people to judge me. Like, just know that if you do have the opportunity to go to a live show, all these people at the show that you're going to, like, if you're going to a hip hop show, are most likely going to be very similar to you, and they're probably going to be in the
For
same
sure.
exact boat.
I mean, every single, and I don't know if this is specific to bars over bars, maybe it is, but I mean, shout out to Hero and how he's doing it. Uh, the atmosphere and culture and community that has been built is everybody that comes to those shows is in the front row supporting, singing the music, and like are just becoming real good friends of mine at this point. And that's like, you know, when you're with like-minded people all pushing, it's like that's how you got to think is, as a
Oh
collective,
yeah.
as opposed to it's like the famine mentality versus the opportunistic mentality. So there's plenty to eat. Don't get so like wrapped up and being like that they're doing better than me or I'm doing better than it's just like, we're all pulling in the same direction. Let's just pull.
Yeah, for sure. No, I love it.
Don't worry about the other shit. Just create opportunities for yourself.
What's J.Vybe's favorite song to perform September as of September 24th, 2023?
Is
What
that today?
song? Yeah, it's today. When you're playing a show, what song are you like, fuck yeah, this song's coming on right now, dude?
Oh, I mean, all of them, but for sure, Karma. Everybody knows. I mean, everybody that has been going to the shows, which the shows have been good lately. Like people know that one, and when it comes on, like, and I feel like that's my,
Is
you
it your
know,
favorite? Is it your favorite because you feel the people actually like energizing back with you? Like they're actually like knowing the words and whatnot. And so it's like
oh, you're
making it
cutting
feel
out.
different. Oh, I am.
You're good now. Repeat the last half of that question. I'm sorry.
Why karma? Is it because the people know the words?
I think it's a good question. I mean, I've kind of kept that on every show that I've done, so maybe it's just part that the people have come and hearing it. But for me, it just is the reason that song is the reason why I'm doing music, partially, and the reason why I'm not giving up. Like, and it embodies like everything that I base my life on for real. Like, so that one for me is important. But
Cool.
like performing wise, like people sing along with it, and it's just like, you know, I feel like it resonates for
Yeah.
sure.
So when I used to be like in a, pop punk hardcore band, like there were some songs like that would come on, like one, for instance, had a crazy breakdown that I loved playing. Like I loved that breakdown. I just knew that it was like gonna wow people. They're gonna be like, holy shit, this goes hard, dude. That's kind of what I was like asking that question for because, I didn't know if there was one song live wise specifically that when you play it, the energy is just like, damn, you could see
Yeah,
people really start getting into you.
Karma is like that, but also
Yeah.
one of the new ones off my album. It's called. I mean, it's called You Don't Know Shit, and that one lately has just been popping off. I got like a bunch of stuff off the album that I haven't even touched yet live, so I'm excited to do
Nice.
that. But
Hell
I've
yeah.
been sneaking a couple of them in there, and that was one of them that like just was a cool vibe.
Do you have like a rough release date yet or what?
I'm no, I gotta
No.
recruit. I like spent a lot on just like you know beats and content and all that stuff. So I need to like recoup and make sure I'm ready when it is time to drop as far as like advertising and all that good stuff. So there's a lot, I got a few things to do before I'm ready, I would
Yeah,
say.
for
So
sure.
I'd say like hopefully early next year, but who knows?
Yeah. And I've obviously I've had the pleasure obvious to you, but like to people who haven't listened or don't know, I've had the pleasure and honor to work on some of your videos. It's been a lot of fun to help
Yes,
kind of
sir.
bring some of those ideas to life and bring those
Yes,
songs
sir.
to a visual, which has been really fun for me because I feel like in a way that's, an artistic outlet for me is
Yeah, bro.
utilizing, the camera to
Hmm.
um complement music because obviously
Yeah,
music is like something I genuinely love. I think it like it can give me chills like every single day.
yeah, man.
And so accompanying a video to music is awesome. I love doing it. So
Yeah, and
I
you're really good at it, bro. And like
thank you.
obviously this album, and for everyone who doesn't know, a lot of the content that's gonna come out, Andrew did a lot of the work on, and I'm super excited about it. It came out really good. He also did my Break Free video that came out really good. That was my first music video ever, and I love your energy and love behind it, so I'm grateful. Thank
Yeah,
you
I
very
want
much.
to I want to definitely keep doing more
Yeah,
projects.
yeah, we will.
Yeah, I want to definitely um I want to help you hype up this album as much as possible when when it starts to come into when the album's done basically and it's like, okay, how do we market this album? We should definitely sit down and talk
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, hell yeah, dude. I'm definitely ready with it, and I know you kind of have your hand in the pot on that on the side too. So
Yeah, I want to help you run your like Facebook ads and like,
yeah, man.
your
Yes,
social
yeah,
ads and stuff. Yeah.
yes. Fuck yeah, I'm ready with that.
Um So, um, let's see. What else? What's been some of your favorite parts about the J.Vybe experience, the project? Like, what are some things that stick out that have like, you know, been something you're going to tell your kids about, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, the one is just the music for sure. I love the music, and it feels like I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing, generally generationally, and you know, just where I am in the right spot. That's one of the, just having a legacy and stuff that like is gonna live on forever for sure. That's like that sticks out, but also the people that I meet and connections I'm able to make is really cool. And starting to do these live shows, that's like every single show is just like, it turns out to be a really fun time. And, especially at first, when I first started, I was super nervous to get into live shows. And once my first one, like, was, it went really well. But after that, like, the anxiety right before you go up slowly starts to go away, and you start to, like, you know, I'm still just trying to grow, really. And yeah, I'd say those definitely the live shows, the music, the people,
Hell yeah.
and yeah, man.
Um, so I know that, growing up you were pretty athletic. And I think you've had a couple of accidents along the way, some health
Yeah,
things that
something like
have
that. Yeah,
kind of fucked you up a little bit.
yeah.
Have you has any of that experience gone into your music? Like, do you have any songs or verses or lyrics about any of like that sort of thing?
I
Dealing with
mean,
that?
I think it's kind of like I haven't specifically wrote anything about my health issues. I have a song on the album that kind of touches on it a little bit, but it's more, I feel like it's more of an undertone, and the way the songs are written and my emotion in certain songs for sure. The Chain Reaction track, that one has a lot of emotion in it, and I think part of the emotion going into recording is just the frustrations of dealing with everything.
Yeah.
Like life is crazy. There's a lot of reasons and things just being pushed into our, you know, ability to access at all times with our phones. So it's like, to be able to dodge that and put it in the music, that's, definitely helpful.
Yeah, I think, it's something that you don't necessarily want to give a whole lot of life to, right? Because like that makes it just that
Yeah,
much more real if you like,
yeah, for sure.
so yeah, it might be
I,
subconsciously you don't write about
I
it
think
because
like
yeah,
people definitely connect with the vulnerability too. So maybe it's just part me being, scared to be that vulnerable. Maybe, who knows? And maybe I'll
sure.
touch on that at some point with the music and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, who knows?
Yeah. Um uh, I was gonna ask you yeah, so you're not vaxxed.
Yeah, nope. Fuck that shit.
Good for you, bro.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm all set.
um yeah, and it's not to like take it a complete 180 and go political on it, but like yeah, so you're not vaxxed, yeah.
Nope. I'm
Have
all
you
set.
found that to be problematic for you at all?
Nope.
Yeah, there was like a minute where it was
I
like, hey,
I haven't gotten COVID once,
yeah,
like
true.
through in the 3 years. And maybe I'm like relatively healthy young dude, so part that, or who knows? I don't fucking know.
Except for your back.
Yeah, aside from my back, but
Is it yeah, your back, yeah.
yeah, it's bad.
Um so you actually want to play soccer, dude? It's not gonna like fuck you up?
I mean, I played before my surgery. I was all right. Who
Yeah.
knows?
You should maybe start doing like have you been running at all or no?
Yeah, I've been doing the treadmill a bunch. I've been lifting a bunch. I've been doing PT twice a week for the past, like, 6 months to a year.
Do you feel good?
Yeah, some days I'm sore, but like a lot of days I'm feeling pretty good. I'm playing basketball a bunch,
You are?
which is
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I'll
Nice.
just like not crazy, but like 2-on-2, 1-on-one, just with some
Yeah.
people from work here and there.
What kind of stuff is your PT doing? Like your physical
Just
therapist?
like stretching and like decompressing of my back and core strengthening, stabilization shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you feel better than you did before the surgery?
Yeah, I do. My
That's
hip
good.
like is weird, but I don't know.
Your hip is weird.
Hmm. Yeah, like some days it hurts. Like sleeping sometimes hurts. Uh, Definitely like after a show, I'm sore a little bit for
Yeah.
sure. But it's manageable.
Okay.
And I wasn't able
Mhm.
to play basketball for 4 or 5 years, so it's good to be getting back into it.
Um, what is I guess I don't really have too much, to kind of go over, but like what are, what's something you've learned that you didn't know when it comes to self producing your own kind of music, um that you would go back and tell yourself earlier, I guess. Not
I
not
wish,
not 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 to go on Ghostface Killa compilation albums or
yeah. I mean, I networked with somebody off of that thing who his name's Analogical the Poet and he's fire, but me and him did a track together, uh, called, what was that called? I forget off the top of my head.
that's cool.
Downfall. It was called Downfall. And like, that was just a cool opportunity. Like he threw me a little bit of money for my time on it and it was it was cool.
That's cool.
So that one, there was the ghost face thing. Like that was that, early on, especially when you're posting on Instagram, there's a lot of people that are trying to just make money off of you as far as, you know, playlisting or advertising or getting you this or getting that or doing this for you or doing that. 90% of it is bullshit. Some of it isn't. And it's a hard, like, there's a lot of people just looking to scam you. So you gotta definitely be careful and watch out with that shit. But, you
But I
know,
thought, wasn't the Ghostface thing a scam?
I mean it's still out there. I mean, it wasn't like super valuable, but
So the record was made.
yeah, it's still out there. You can go peep it. It's on there. And it's just
Oh,
Karma. They just
oh,
took Karma and threw it in the mixtape. So it's a bunch of like artists and their shit that, honestly, I connected with every single artist on there and I reached out to every single one of them and was like, yo, what's up? My name's J.Vybe. Here's my music. And one of them was Analogical the Poet, who's my boy and lives out in Indiana, and we talk all the time, and we made a dope song together. So, a
okay.
lot of people would say, don't fucking do that. But at the same time, I made some cool connections from it. So I don't know.
Oh, dude, you got to do that. The networking is like everything, like that's literally what everything's about, right?
Mhm.
I was under the impression that that never was put out.
No, it was
I
put
thought
out.
didn't I thought you like didn't you pay for something that didn't
Yeah,
get done or
I paid for a video shout out. So he was supposed to make a video. I paid $500 for it. He was supposed to make a video shout out being like, yo, go peep J.Vybe and his track Karma. It's dope, blah, blah, blah. Never got it. So I did get the mixtape though. The mixtape's out and you could still go peep it.
did it take a while for that mixtape to go out?
No, it came out pretty quick.
Okay. Dude, that
Yeah.
sucks though, that whole, thing.
Yeah.
I'm
It
just
was
bringing it up because
bullshit.
I think it's fair for people to know. Kind of
I mean,
shitty.
yeah, dude, it's tough. It's a tough, there's a lot of people that are looking to screw you over, and whether or not that was one of them, who's to say?
Yeah, yeah, who knows?
But,
Didn't I think
that
they
could have,
just I
I
think
could
he
have
just
stopped,
played at
I could have
Hampton
stopped
Beach.
there though. You know what I
You
mean?
you could have stopped there?
Yeah, that's like I
Yeah.
could have eaten that, be like, oh, well, fuck. And that was my first song. So I have 8 songs out now, and here I am now, and, my track chain reaction dropped less than 3 weeks ago and it has almost 10K on Spotify. So
Whoa.
yeah. So there's that. And then YouTube there's about 6.4K on the
See
video.
spot see Spotify is like really good because that's like those are like real people listening to music.
Hmm.
I feel like, Spotify's a good measure of like who has you in there like daily listening.
Yeah, and you get good metrics and stuff, which is cool. I honestly like I wish we could go back to CDs because, if I had if I could sell 10,000 CDs, it would be in a much different situation right now.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
Spotify they pay nothing. So like if it's crazy. So if you Go if you go to one live show and sell one item of merch, you will make more than 10,000 streams on Spotify.
Yeah, it's true.
Literally, literally one.
Do you have a merch shop for the J.Vybe stuff?
Not yet. I'm working on it. I like made up some beanies and sold a couple, and
Oh
I
yeah, I
have
remember that.
some stickers and some business cards, but I'm working on being able to get up there with that
Yeah.
stuff. But
It's actually like super cheap, honestly, to run that store. You could do it through like Shopify, and like you could do it where they'll like you only they'll only print to the order. So like you don't have to get a minimum amount of something made. It's like for instance, for my streaming stuff that I was doing, the MC Primetime stuff, I this kid bought a shirt, and like I made $5 off of it, right? Which obviously
mhm.
wasn't a lot, but like there's a kid out there across the across the world like with my face on his shirt, you know?
Yeah,
And it's like, all right, that's cool. And it's like I didn't have to print 100 shirts for it to be made. Like it's per order. So he paid like 25, I made 5, and the company made 20. Sure, yeah, I would obviously like the return to be better, but like to start with, you could at least do something like that where,
yeah.
like
And
you
then it's
said, it's
also
like,
like brand advertisement at that level too.
yeah.
There's
But
a
yeah, I
portion of
mean,
that too. But
the people who connect with your music to that level that they're willing to buy a beanie or buy a shirt, it's like, that's powerful. You want to take advantage of that.
yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Um, no, you're totally good. Oh, dude, dogs.
Yeah, a little
All right,
fuck.
tell us who that is.
This is Loki.
Hi,
He's a little
Floki.
and Frank me. Frank him. Come. Come. This is Freya. Here.
Awesome dogs, I will
Yeah,
say.
you're a good girl. Oh yes, you're a good girl.
So there it is, J.Vybe, just in his natural habitat here at home.
Yeah, man. How's the baby?
Baby's good, man. Yeah. He's doing real good. Everything's good on our end.
Good.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, I really appreciate you coming on and talking a little bit about your music. Anything else you kind of want to plug here, or just kind of talk about,
Yeah,
what
for
to expect?
sure. I got a bunch of shows coming up. There's one in Somerville, I think is the next one on 10/29 with Brent Julian, I want to say. No, sorry. 9/29, I think. There's one on the 29th and then one on the 1st, I believe. And they're back-to-back ones in Salem with Jimmy LeClaire. It's his album party that's at the Felt Fanatic. And then the one with Brent Julian, I believe, is the either the day before or day after at the Jungle in Somerville. So those are the two most recent ones coming up. And then I'm also in a band. I'm a drummer still, and we're kind of pushing that front as well. And we've had one show so far, and it went really well. It was a really good turnout. Uh, sorry, they're going crazy. Couple of shows this weekend. We got a not so my band is Not Bad Pretty Good. I'm the drummer in, and Katie is the singer. Robbie Rowe on guitar. Casey Sargent on bass. All right, stop. And we have another show coming up. I forget when. That one's on the 4th at the Bit Bar in Salem, and then we also have the one at Game Time on November 3rd. So lots of stuff going on. And I have a show in, I think, on the 28th of October in Rhode Island. We're going out to Rhode Island for a show, which
Awesome,
is
man. That's incredible.
yep, lots of good
Keep it
stuff.
going.
So plenty of time to come and see me.
Yeah, keep it going, man. Keep it going strong. I appreciate you coming on and just kind of chatting with me and talking about life and why you make music and whatnot. We'll
Yeah,
do it
man.
again soon.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm excited. Let's definitely do this again. And, I'll definitely be hitting you up for visuals. Anyone else listening, hit Andrew up for visuals because he does a really good job.
Thanks,
Uh,
man.
yeah, let's fucking make
I
some
do
stuff
decent.
happen.
I do decent with an iPhone, bro. It's pretty good.
Yeah, he does good.
Um, cool. All right. That's it. Thanks for coming by. We'll talk again soon. I'm sure I'll see you soon. I really got to
Yeah,
catch you
man.
soon.
Yeah,
It's tough with,
all good.
obviously, as you know,
Yeah,
but
I
we'll
know.
make it happen.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
Hell yeah, bro. All right.
All
I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so
right.
much, bro.
Yeah, bro. Take it easy.
You too. Bye.